All right, today we'll be finding top dead center on a Honda Big Red 700 and going to be adjusting the valves. Got a couple things removed here, so we're all ready to go. Use a 15/16 wrench to remove this cap here, and that's going to be down on the stator cover, and that's going to be the plug that we use to turn the motor over. We've got an Allen wrench here that will be the inspection window that we find top dead center with. I also have a mirror, and I use that to find top dead center, so we're not having to pull the fuel tank to look down in that sight window. And then I've got a light here so I can see a little bit better. And how I did it was sit basically where the driver's seat is, and use one hand, be my right hand there to turn over the motor to where it needs to be, and then at the same time using that mirror to look in this sight window here to find top dead center. Now there's going to be a line on that flywheel that'll indicate T for top dead center. You want that line to line up in the center of that inspection window. So you have to turn that motor over very slowly with that 17mm socket and wrench until you find top dead center on that flywheel. When you find top dead center, then we can go up and we can adjust the valves. So we've got two intake, two exhaust valves, and these are your exhaust here and your intake are on this side here. And the way that you adjust valves, you've got two on either side, and they can be adjusted differently. We've got 10mm lock nuts and then a slot for a flathead screwdriver here. These valve specs are that intake is 0.005 inches to 0.007. Exhaust is 0.01 to 0.0. Exhaust is 0.012 to 0.014, and those are going to be what you line those up to be. Now we're going to go ahead and grab the feeler gauges here, and I'll show you how to adjust those. If we're wanting them to be 0.006, I'll show you the exhaust valve so you can see a little bit easier. We've got our feeler gauges here. When we are going to find 0.013, we'll just go right in the middle. And some people have their different way of doing it. Some people like to go to the tight side, so when they loosen up, you got more room to go. I like to go right in the center and just adjust the valves when they need to be adjusted. These are a fairly easy machine to adjust valves on. So we're going to put these feeler gauges down in here, and we want them to slide back and forth. You see here, I can slide it way too freely. So what I'm going to do is loosen that lock nut, turn that adjuster screw in until it's a snug fit. You want to be able to pull that feeler gauge in and out of there, but you do not want it to be too tight. You do not want it to be too loose. And then you're going to make sure you lock down that 10mm lock nut because you don't want those coming loose while you're driving. Go to the other side, do the exact same. Turn that screw down to where it needs to be. Again, this is way too loose. It is hard to tell through a video, but it is extremely sloppy in there. You want to make sure that it's a snug slide through there. Also, another way you can double check that you're on top dead center, pull that spark plug there and stick a screwdriver or something down in there carefully and feel that your piston is clear at the top. If it's not clear at the top, you've obviously got a problem. And you may want to grab your mirror and look again through your top dead center inspection hole there. Now when we're all finished checking valves, I like to turn that motor over one more time, and then a lot of times you can check them again, or I just like to make sure that there is clearance between the piston and valves before you actually turn the motor over and snap a valve off if you did something wrong. So you can put those feeler gauge or those inspection caps back on with the 8mm bolts there, and then you want to buckle up the bottom there by putting in that larger cap and then that Allen cap as well. So that is how you adjust the valves on a Honda 2010 Big Red 700.